Hello everybody, it's time for a New Year's Eve shave. I'm not going to be using my Van der Hagen with a Astra blade today since I wanted to preserve its uses. But today we're going to be switching back to the Daxton blade from Family Dollar, which doesn't have a name on it. And I'm going to be using Grandpa Vic's safety razor, which I need to clean some grime off of it. Okay, I clean it. Man, clean your razor after you're done. That's what I hear echoing down here. But it's going to be as clean as it's going to get. So, come here, Daxton blade. Dang it, now I gotta play with it just to get it, and hopefully I don't cut myself. Okay, so how to load a 3-piece razor. You see the blade post on this Daxton blade. He's through here. And what you do is line them up with these posts here to fit in the guides. And there it is. And you put the blade guard on, the safety guard. Then you grab the post, screw it in, tighten it, make sure it's perfectly aligned on both ends. I can grab it by the side here and tighten it a little bit more. And what I'm going to do is put it in the hot water and dunk my brush in here a couple times and then squeeze out the excess. Then I'm going to throw a couple of sprinkles of that into my shaving bucket. Right. And swish that around in there. Put a little in there. And now a tad bit in there so I can have some. I'm going to do bowl lathering this time, so there we go. And it's actually sudsing over the Parasso bowl, as we call it, and I think it's a little bit idiotic at times when it does this. But it's not good to have a shave if you can't get a little messy on your hands. You know, bowl lathering, you know? Your hands get a little messy. And I'm digging the menthol scent on it too. How's everybody's New Year's going? Eve is going fine. And still, I have plenty of Parasso to go around for a couple months of shaving, you know? I don't know why I put this on anyway. I just probably stuck it there for a minute there and it was sticking up. Okay. Next, I want to get my face wet with some hot water. Now, we're going to commence the bowl lather. And the goal is to make it like whipped cream. The creamier the better, the thicker the better. and the less of getting a nick on you, you know? If you follow the steps properly, of course. And the hotter your razor is, the less likely of this stuff sticking to your razor guard, as they say, you know? Ooh, yes. I love the scent. I'm starting to dig it. You know? Now I'm going to add a little bit more water to make it a little bit more of the cream to come on the brush, to make it thick. Like, you know, unless of the bubbles that you see at the top. Because the less bubbles you have, the thicker the cream is. This Van der Hagen cup I had for about almost a year now. So it's very good on its lathering capabilities, you know, with any shave soap that you have, and I love it. And as you can see, I like the knob on here because I can hold it with my hand and tip it like this without having to worry about my hand being slippery. And I can use it to trade hands, you know, with the lather mixing. But I normally mix it for a couple more times, you know, make sure it stays potent. You know, less bubbles equals more cream with this Proraso, and a lot goes a long way with little drips of water. Couple more twirls of the brush and it should be creamier. Because I see less bubbles, so that's a good sign. And voila, people. You have made a shaving lather cream. And now I just rinse my hands off, you know, and dry them off because this stuff is water soluble, as I said before in the past videos. So, I'm gonna get my fists wet where I'm gonna be shaving, and the product I'm gonna be using is Proraso Sapon de Barba Refreshing Coconut Oil, Eucalypto, and Menthol today. And let's see if the razor's hot enough. The blade's hot. And now, it's time to lather. With this menthol. Proraso with menthol and eucalyptus. I'm starting to dig the menthol-y scent, but it hits me the moment I glide the razor across it. And that sometimes happens. Now, I dip in here again and go like this again, coat it, where I'm going to be working, and go up under here, over my upper mustache area, and down my neck. And then line up here, and like this. And you clear the runways up here, so you know where your sideburns are. And you start whatever side you feel like starting with. Me, I sometimes like starting on this side of my face, then this side after I get done over here, okay? So, since this is going to be a new year, I'm going to start on this side. It's baby smooth again in those areas. The combinations I'm using shouldn't be used without proper experience with the safety razor, and I always feel like my Grandpa Vic's watching me when I'm doing this, so it feels nice. Then I rotate and go down. As you see, that's all from the slow strokes on that pass. The safety razors, you go down so far, you turn, go down, then you turn again. So watch again on how I do it. This one's good for one more cut of hair, and then you turn it to finish the cut there. And then you start here and even up here. Your goal is beard reduction, not, going gun-ho in this, because you got time for your day to do this. All it takes is sometimes 15 minutes or more. But the reason I take my time on my neck is it's the most sensitive area there is. And you feel the menthol, actually, and eucalyptus hitting you the moment you start shaving, you smell it. And that's what I like about this scent. It keeps you awake. And I love it. As people say, some people are like menthol in things. I do because it opens your sinuses when you're shaving. That's what I found out in my experience with this shaving cream of all things. Even it's good for sensitive skin, I found this out. Because the eucalyptus oil helps, even through the last part of the shave. Then you feel it more when you put the cold water on after you're done shaving. Come to think, this Daxton blade, I wasn't very sure about it at first, because I wanted to try all sorts of razor blades, within my budget. And I fell in love with the Astra Supreme Platinum, but then, you know how that salad as goes. And it ends up being a disaster sometimes, but second pass. I always coat the brush to make sure it's going to be thick enough to go through the stubble. Mm. Alright. Final pass. Which means you take whatever lather you have in here, put it on the brush. And you put it on the brush, like so. And there you go. You have your lather. There. That should be good enough for this pass. Then you set your lather ball off to the side. I can tell that this water is too mucky to get that out of a safety razor, so alright, you just dunk it inside. And you put the lid back on, of course. And then you see your face is still wet from that initial pass. And then you set the razor here. Add a little bit more warm water into your shave bowl. And of course, put the water that you had in there into your lather bowl so it's easy for it to solidify. Because you don't need any more of it. Once you're done with this pass, it's like, well, how do I put it? You gotta save all of your lather for the good pass, and I like it. Although I don't like getting my lip, painted. But that's a part of the art of wet shaving, and I like every moment of it. And there. It's thick. And clear my lip off here so I don't clip it by accident like I did with a cold sore, because I don't like doing that shit. Well, excuse me for saying shit, but it's the truth. It's the end of the year. It's gotten to me, this pandemic, so I'm saying words I shouldn't be saying. But that I could put in my New Year's resolution, not to swear again on something, but I always keep breaking it. Anywho. So I probably would have to remind myself not to break that one. Even when I'm in the wrong. Coming up, I might do an interview with my brother or my dad on what their shave preferences were when they started, but that's still in the works. But can't ask everything my brother can do because he sometimes doesn't like talking to a lot of Facebook people, so I mean not Facebook, YouTube people, so I'm gonna find a way to get him to talk about it, but He's deaf, so, and I'm autistic, and he's epileptic, so it doesn't make no difference. We're all misfits one way or another, as I was told. Even on this day in movie history, The Poseidon Adventure, the first one came out to the theaters. The 1972 version, which I'm going to be watching tonight and enjoying it. But those who didn't see it or didn't know of it, it was a box office hit of Roland Allen's movie. Next to the Tower Inferno with Stephen McQueen. But I liked him more and more on Dead or Alive, Stephen McQueen, because he played a bounty hunter on there. Alright, there we go. And it's fully coated. I always like doing my last pass forward. Now I'm looking at my short, so I want to do it later. Then you shake it like this. Make sure it's perfectly shook out. Then you hang it on your stand. Now, time to get this hot, warm again, because I don't want to put a cold razor on my face. And I'm going to start with this side, going upward. This is actually what they call against the grain move. You don't want to put too much pressure there, because you would end up cutting your skin. Alright, that is smooth there, so let's try again. I had feedback right here, so that tells me that area had a little stubble there or not, so it's all a guessing game. Ooh. First nick of the New Year's Day. Damn. It just tells me how sharp the blade is. You know? But at least it ain't that bad of a cut like I did on my lip. There was a number on that one. Big time number. Then I rotate sides again. Your goal is always rinse out your razor before it starts getting gunked up in the razor head like this. But I'm almost done with my shave, so I don't have to worry about it. Just keep rinsing it off and hopefully it comes out. But normally when I go against the grain up here, it doesn't slip. With a dull blade, it doesn't. A tame blade, let's put it that way. Then I rinse it out. Continue. The goal is to get the remaining shaving cream sticking to your whiskers. Let's shake it off again. And I always say you can't get too wrong by opening a second nick. If it's not pulling up any more hair or making any feedback against your skin, you know that you got all a baby smooth shave if you keep getting cuts, in certain areas. And still feel a little roughness over here, a little. I'm gonna touch it up. And we're done. Normally my shaves don't take this long, but I thought it was worth the long wait. And now I'm going to rinse my face off with some hot water and then cold to get the rest of this cream off. So stand by, people. Alright. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts more, but not complaining. Ooh. Who said hot water hurts? Alright. The moment y'all been waiting for. The aftershave of choice, my go-to for anything that goes wrong, sometimes. Stetson with cooling moisture. And this stuff smells good. It smells like an old, like people back in the Western days used. But I love the scent. It takes me back to those days where things were easy and not hard. And I like Western movies, especially John Wayne. But I don't know if John Wayne used Stetson. I'm not sure. So don't ask. Little burn. But that's the menthol going on. In your skin and the moisturizer and the castor oil. All in one slight burn. But it will go away. It's not like a permanent burn feeling. Now, sometime Monday I'll do another shave video, or Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on how I feel about the new year. And we'll go from there. But my final thoughts on this Proraso Sapin de Baba Refreshant Eucalyptus Scent Menthol. Eucalyptus and mentholy, which means it's super formulated. I love the scent, although I wish they would, the eucalyptus had more kick to it. and less of the menthol, but can't complain on how Italy makes their shaving creams, you know? And there it is. After breaking this in, I made a dent, a small dent. This had a big dent. This had a small dent when I started, you know, reviewing it before Christmas. Now, it's a game changer now. And I love game changers, you know? I'll probably be using this in the next different video, like a head-to-head shave with the Barbasol razor that my grandpa Vic had versus the traditional safety razor, which is my Vanderhagen, my new set to the shave den, but it's still not old enough yet to be considered an old part of the den until now, so it goes back up there. This has been Shaving Riker. I hope you enjoy this video. Happy New Year's Eve. And if I don't see you tomorrow, Happy New Year. So, stay safe everybody, and remember to drive carefully.